Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this edition of ACC's Live Transfer Tuesday. My name is Renee Esparza, and I am the Transfer Resources Director here at Austin Community College. And I am super excited today to be back for another Transfer Tuesday. And this time I'm joined by two amazing ACC students, Devin and Jackson. Thank you both so much for joining me today. How's your day going?
Great.
Yep, been going pretty good.
Pretty good. So before I start asking you all the questions, I want to make sure that our viewers get to know a little bit more about you. So can you both let us know how long you've been attending ACC? What are you majoring in? Where are you planning to transfer? And maybe something fun like what have you been streaming lately on TV? Uh, Devin, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Right now, I am a sophomore. It's my second year at ACC. I am studying general studies in science at ACC. I'm hoping to transfer to the the University of Colorado Boulder, um, and I will be studying atmospheric and oceanic sciences there. Right now, I'm watching Better Call Saul. Got to catch up on that show. But other than that, that's a little bit about me.
That's great. Better Call Saul, one of my favorite shows. Jackson, how about you?
I'm also a second year at ACC. I am my current career path or my thing is interpersonal communication studies, and I'm hoping to transfer next fall into the Moody College of Communications at UT Austin. And
Awesome.
I just finished House of the Dragon, and I'm currently watching Friends for the first
Oh,
time. Yeah.
for the very first time. This is really different than when I watched Friends for the first time, which when it aired for the first time on TV. So I hope you enjoy it. I think it's hilarious that that show is like coming back again. Now it's popular again.
Yeah, it's funny. I like
Yeah.
it.
So I've gotten to know both of you because you've come to so many of our events and you stopped by our Career and Transfer Center. And I love getting updates from you all on how your semester's going. But since we're talking transfer today, can you tell us a little bit about some of the transfer events that you've attended and if you feel like they've been helpful? Let's switch it up. And Jackson, why don't you go first?
Well, there have been a bunch of transfer day events. We recently had one where 50 schools showed up. I was able to talk to CU Boulder and ask a little bit about my major, maybe if I want to go there. UT is always there, Texas State. It's great. You're able to talk directly to the people that you would talk to over the phone and get those questions out of the way, and it's amazing. And ACC has a bunch of different programs and activities and events that they have and panels. So yeah.
Devin, are there any events that you enjoyed or you were actually at the transfer fair also? How'd
Yeah,
that go for you?
I went to the transfer fair. I found out that Texas Tech also offers a meteorology program. It's kind of harder for me because meteorology isn't offered by all the schools. So to see that, Texas Tech and some of the other colleges there offered it was exciting. It gives me more options now, which I really appreciate. I also went to a few transfer panels that ACC had, mainly with the local colleges like Texas Tech, Texas State, UT, UTSA. Um, as Jackson was saying, I went to the transfer fair as well. And UT's having like a UT day, and I believe Texas State had a day too. So I didn't go to that one, but there's a whole bunch going on.
I'm so glad that y'all are taking advantage of these. And I'm gonna go back to a few things you said. I loved hearing that you talked to multiple institutions to find out if they offered your major. That's, I think, one of the most important things that students should first ask when they're exploring transfer destinations, right? Like, do you even have my major? A second thing I remember, I'm going to tell a story about you two. So I think one of the first times I met you all was at one of our transfer panels, and I think both of you had your phones out and I saw you furiously typing. I said, oh, these are students. They're not paying attention. They're texting their friends. And afterwards, both of you showed me your phones and were like, these are the notes we took during this panel. So I was so excited and pleased to see you engaging in the information that you were learning from the universities. And that made me feel like what we're doing is actually helping. So thank you both.
Of course.
No
Yeah.
problem.
So here at ACC, you've probably met with either a transfer specialist or you're planning to meet with one, or you've met with your academic advisor to talk about your transfer goals. Devin, why don't you tell me a little bit about what that experience is like working with someone to help with your planning?
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy. You can find it on your self-service or on the ACC website in like the little search bar. And then all you got to do is find the form with your advisor, put in your information, and it's after that you pick a time, and then you either meet in person or online. I met with Miss Lee. Miss Lee's my advisor. She's fantastic. I really like her. And anytime I have a question, I don't even need to, make a meeting all the time. I can just email her real quick. She'll send me back an email probably the same day or if not the next day and answer my question. And also, even if I have a question that isn't about transferring, or she helps me out with that too. So it's a very simple and easy process, and it's very helpful.
Jackson, have you met with anyone here at ACC?
Yeah, I actually have the same academic advisor as Devin, Miss Lee.
So this is an advertisement for Lee. She's an advisor at Northridge. She's amazing.
Yeah.
We'll give her a warning in case we start seeing a lot of students requesting her because of this.
Yeah, she's great. She's really good at responding to her emails on time, and she sends out little post notifications sometimes about different things that I might need to be aware of also. So I really appreciate that because I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm not always the most on top of everything, and having people who are willing to go out of their way and tell me stuff that really makes everything easier.
I'm glad to hear that. And I know both of you have the same academic advisor, but I will say that's pretty much across the board for all of our academic advisors. Their role here is to help students stay on track, be up to date with information. And Jackson, you brought up a good point that she sends you emails. So
Yeah.
we know you get tons of emails, but we really encourage you to read the emails that we're sending to you because often they're very relevant. It's relevant information for you specifically. So that's great. And again, we'll warn Lee that she might get a little boost in appointment requests coming up soon. So both of you all are in your second year at ACC. So you've had a year to learn, to, get acclimated to college. But what are some of the resources that you've been using or activities you've been participating in that have helped you become more comfortable here at ACC? And also, do you have any tips or recommendations for other students that are coming to ACC?
Well, for one, the Highland campus has the accelerator, which I think it's the largest computer lab in North America or something like that. I remember reading, but it's great. For one, it's a computer lab, so if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection at your house, you can use their resources and print everything. They also have, I think they have the academic advisor little office in there, so you can go up there and talk about that as well. And for me, I'm taking a chemistry class, and I wasn't the greatest in high school. And they have like fundamentals classes and tutors and lectures and all that good stuff. And there's so much. If you just ask around, um, you can find a resource for almost every problem that you could have.
Devin, what about you? Any tips or resources you highly recommend?
I mean, for me, when I got to Highland, I did my first semester of college at Northridge. At Northridge, it's a little bit of a smaller campus, but they have student life. They have a whole set of faculty members. who are all awesome. And it's a little bit smaller of a community, so you can kind of actually get to know everyone a lot better, which was awesome that first semester. But then I went over to Highland campus as my main campus. And at Highland, it's a huge campus. I got a little lost, but I asked around. I asked, oh, where do I go to transfer, or where is, financial aid at? And I just asked any student life member, any ACC member, and they would send me in the right direction, even if they couldn't answer the question. Um, they also have student life is fantastic. They're they have all sorts of, there's so many things student life does that I still don't even know all of them yet, but they host events. You can go in there just to study or just hang out, or anything like that. And then like the learning lab, they have tutoring, that if you get behind in a class, you can schedule a little appointment or even walk in, I'm pretty sure, and just get help. Like for me, I needed help with algebra, and I went in there, and within like 15 minutes, one of the tutors came in and started helping me out with algebra before my class. So it's, if you just ask around, and even some of the other students know more. So your question will be answered if you seek the answer.
And I think that's wonderful advice. And I know one of you said this one time we were chatting, when you were talking about all the different events and everything. You said, "Hey, we're paying for this. It's free. We might as well take advantage of it. Right?
Yeah.
It's part of your tuition." Um, and so my last formal question for you all is: have you registered for the spring semester?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
Yes,
Yeah.
met with Miss Lee.
Exactly. Registering early, I think, is one of the best strategies for success. You get the classes at the times that work for you. You don't have to worry about classes filling up. And so registration is now open for our current students and new students. And I will also do a little shout out for registration week that's happening next week. There's going to be events on all of our ACC campuses. I will tell you, I think some of our advising staff might be dressing up in themes throughout the week.
Very
Uh,
nice.
I want to say I also heard a rumor that there is a maybe Game of Thrones throne that'll be making an appearance, or maybe a homemade one at one of our campuses. So students, visit your academic advisors next week and have fun. There's going to be prizes and raffles. So let's check and see if there are any questions in the chat. And oh, there's a question from Eric. What do you do to take a class at ACC while taking a class at another university? And is the process for that long or short? So a lot of our students are actually enrolled in two institutions at the same time. So, we have students from Texas State, from UT, from St. Ed's taking classes here. And the first thing I would say is, if you are enrolled at a university, talk to your academic advisor at that university first to make sure that you are taking the right class and that it's okay and approved by them. Then when you come to ACC, if you have not yet applied, you would apply just like a new student. But if you're a student who's been with us before, you would probably just need to update some residency information, and then you can enroll in the course. But we would recommend that you meet with an advisor here at ACC as well, just to make sure you're taking the right class and you meet the prerequisites. But we have, like I said, we have students that are taking classes at two institutions at the same time. We also have professors that are teaching at two institutions at the same time. So ACC is everywhere. Are there any other questions in the chat? I'm so happy. Thank you, Eric, for asking a question. Oh, Devin and Jackson are the best. That wasn't a question. It was a statement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We agree here at ACC. But, just to repeat that, Devin, Jackson, y'all are the best. Thank you so much for joining today, ACC Live. We will see you next month. We have, I think, another Transfer Tuesday scheduled for December. But thank you all so much for joining, and have a wonderful day.
Of course. Thanks so much for letting us do this.
Bye, y'all.